All right, in today's video, I have a small tool haul, a Channellock item I picked up from Amazon, as well as a handful of miscellaneous tools that I got at a garage sale. Spent $5 for a couple of things in here, as well as an item I picked up doing some curb shopping. So let's take a look. So for you guys that don't know what curb shopping is, essentially it's going through the trash or picking something up out of the trash. So I'll show you that in a minute or in a little bit. But I want to show you this item I picked up on Amazon. It's a Channellock 410, and this is called the Nut Buster, as you can take a look here, and it's got that parrot head design, and this is supposed to be really good for taking off rounded fasteners, stripped out bolts, and the reason I wanted this is because I recently did a video on a pair of vice grips, and here they are. And I took a closer look at these vice grips, and they have a really great, unique design for taking off stripped bolts and rounded off bolts and so forth. And when I made that video, one of my subscribers, and he's got a really good channel, a newer YouTuber, is ASM Auto, and I'll put his link in the description below. He said, hey, those are really cool vice grips, but I really love my Channellock Nut Busters. And I said, what the heck is a Channellock Nut Buster? Wasn't familiar with it, so did a little research on it. Gets great reviews. And for 20 bucks, how do you beat a Channellock, right? Made in the USA, Meadville, PA. And I said, you know what? I got to grab them. So let's take a look at what it looks like outside of the package. All right, so here it is out of the package. Fit and finish, not fantastic. Looked like it had some clear coat on it that was still wet when they put it in the package. That's to prevent it from rusting. Definitely a little rough along the top. There's almost even a little edge here that could use a little sanding. Wow, that is pretty sharp. I don't know if you could see it there. It's a raised edge. But hey, they're $20 for a piece of heavy-duty American steel. When I compare this to, a 410, which is the same size as far as the length goes on these Channellocks, these are heavy-duty. I mean, look at the size here, the difference in the handle, the head, the thickness. This is a heavyweight, nut buster here, so, or I should say pair of pliers. And what's so unique about it is it's got this round jaw there, right? So you can see when you're grabbing something that's rounded, it will contour to it so it doesn't slip. You got the jaw that's rounded, the head that's rounded, very similar to when the way these kind of lock on. Now they don't lock those, but you see how that locks in there with that rounded head, compared to these flat jaws. If you wanted to grab something round, like a rounded out nut, it's just not going to fit well. It's going to slide off of there versus, look at that, versus this here, how that grabs. Look at that. Wow, that is tight in there. So that's the Channellock 410 Nut Buster. Had to have them. So thanks to ASM Auto. Check out his channel if you want to see some really beautiful tool hauls and tools. He'll definitely, he's got some great ones on his channel. So there they are. I'll hit these with some royal purple, let it rest overnight, and put it in the drawer. So sometimes you could really clean up at a garage sale for $5. Not the case here, but I think I got a couple of cool items, and I picked it up a couple of weeks ago, but I was just waiting till I had something else to kind of share with you, because like I said, not a home run here, but I love these old cutters. They clean up great. I love the old branding, right? Strober Brothers, it says, Hamilton Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. It's got the phone number on it. God knows how old this is, probably goes back to probably the 70s if I had to guess. And back in the days, this was probably given out for free or sold really cheap with some advertising and branding on it. It is frozen up here, but I will restore this, and it's just a cool piece for using as well as for branding. I really do like those. I have a couple of them. And then this I just thought was so unique. It's some sort of clamp. I never seen nothing like this. It says DESTA Company. That's the company. And I don't know, I just thought it was unique, and I was like, you know what? For $1, I just wanted it. It was in a dollar bin, and it clamps on. You see how that works? It's like a vice grip where it kind of locks in like that, and then I need 2 hands to unlock it here. There we go. And I don't know if you guys know what that's all about. I just really like that it had the twisted, the way they did the steel here, and the way they heated it up and just kind of bent it while it was probably red hot like that. I thought it was neat. If you guys know what that clamp is for, let me know. And then I got a couple of these strap wrenches. These are just some Craftsman ones. They look like they'll clean up like new. And these are great. This is a larger one, and this is a smaller one. And these things aren't cheap. Even if you find the off-brand ones, they're not cheap. So for $1 a piece, I had to have them. And the reason I love these is I always keep one in the kitchen for my wife to open the jars up. More time in the shop if you're not opening jars. So one of them will definitely go to the pantry cupboard. And then this he wanted $3 for, but I ended up giving him $1. And what it reminded me of is one of those hand visors. I know a while back, Scout Crafter did a video on the Miller's Falls vices. They you hold them in your hand, and that's what I kind of thought this was. I thought it was a hand vise, but I got home and I did some research on it. It says kit vise, and it's actually a vise that's a hobby vise that had a joint on it, and you could bend it and flex it. And you could see here a long time ago it sold for 75 cents. So he wanted $3, and I ended up paying $1 for it. But the jaws look like they're in great shape, and I think that's how I'm going to use this. I think I'm just going to clean it, restore it, and use it as a hand vise for I'm working on something. I want to grind something. I want to put something on even the wire wheel. Or who knows, use the Dremel tool on something. I think that's what I'm going to use this for. It does have some screws here if I did want to bolt it. So if I wanted to keep it in a toolbox, and this could be a job site vise, right? You're working on a project somewhere, and you just keep it in the toolbox and bolt it somewhere to a 2x4 and use it. But for me, I think it's going to have a purpose as using it as a poor man's Miller's Falls hand vise, because they do go for some good money. So for $1, that'll be a fun restoration project. So now let's see what I found in the trash. All right, so I'm driving down the street, almost at the end of my block, and I see a treadmill being thrown out for sale. And my wife was with me, and I said, hey, when I come back, I'm going to stop and grab that because, the motors in them are really great motors. These are DC motors. This is 2.65 horsepower, and these things are supposed to have a ton of torque. That's why they use them in a treadmill. So when you get up to, it doesn't require a high speed for it to have power. And this could be a really cool motor for different things. And who knows, I maybe would think down the road to put it into my lathe. I know that's where a lot of people use these motors. You could retrofit your little Chinese lathes with one of these, and you could run them at a low speed with a lot of power. But hey, who knows? It was free, and it looks like it should work well. My neighbor thought I was crazy as I was bringing it up the street, hanging out of the back of the car with the hatch open. Took the motor out, real easy to take out. Just has these nice leads on it, so when I do get a speed controller for it at some point, if and when I use it, it has a bracket already attached to it, so if I wanted to fabricate something, I could. Spun really free, and I was able to get the belt with it. Unfortunately, I was looking to see if there was a pulley, and that's what was missing. It must have broke. It went to a pulley that ran the lead, probably bar that spun all the others, and I think that was broken because that's what was missing. I really wanted to see if I could get a pulley for it. So whatever I attached this to, I would have the opposite pulley. But who knows? Maybe I'll have to use a different bolt, or maybe even fabricate this, take this off, put a different pulley on it. Who knows? But I took the cord off. It really great, nice, heavy-duty cord with the leads on it as well. And these aren't cheap, believe it or not. So after I took it out, I showed my wife what they're getting for these things on eBay, and she said, "Are you kidding me?" She goes, "I see them all the time. I'm going to let you know, and I'm going to knock on the door and have people help me load them in my car if you're not with me." They're going anywhere from 60 to 100 $10, you know, but most of them are sold for about $100 plus on eBay from what I could tell. If you guys know any cool projects or things to do with this, let me know as well. But my thought was, hey, I'll have this in my back pocket in case my lathe motor ever goes. It's a little underpowered. I want to say it's a 3/4 horsepower brushed motor. And this would be a major upgrade for that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hopefully you like seeing the small tool haul I did. Mainly the purpose of this video was to share with you these 410 nut busters, as well as some items I got from a yard sale and out of the trash. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one.